In the vast, silent expanse of Antarctica, where the snow blankets everything in a soft, white hush, lived a little penguin named Pip. Pip was just like all the other penguins on his snowy shore. He loved to slide down icy slopes on his belly, catch shimmering fish in the frigid sea, and waddle with his friends in long, orderly lines. But there was one thing Pip didn't like at all: the cold, especially the long, dark, icy nights when the wind howled like a lonely wolf and the stars seemed like tiny, distant ice chips in the vast, black sky. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, a particularly fierce storm began to brew. The wind picked up, whipping snowflakes into a wild, swirling dance. The temperature dropped, and a deep, biting cold settled over the land. All the penguins huddled together in their colony, tucking their heads under their wings, trying to conserve every bit of warmth. Pip found a spot in the middle of the huddle, but even surrounded by his friends and family, he couldn't stop shivering. The cold seemed to seep right through his feathers and into his very bones. He shivered and shivered, his beak chattering, feeling utterly miserable. The night stretched on, long and unforgiving. Pip closed his eyes tightly, wishing for the warmth of the morning sun. Just as he was about to drift into a restless, chilly sleep, he felt a tiny, Fred trembling next to him. He opened one eye and peered into the dim light. There, huddled beside him, was a much smaller, younger penguin. The little one was shaking uncontrollably, its tiny body trembling with a force that seemed too big for its small frame. Its eyes were wide with fear and cold. Pip looked at the little penguin, and a strange feeling stirred within him. He was cold, yes, desperately cold, but seeing this even smaller, more vulnerable creature shivering so hard made his own discomfort seem to fade into the background. His heart felt a pang of sympathy. He knew exactly how the little one felt. Without a second thought, without even considering his own need for warmth, Pip made a decision. He shuffled closer, nudging the small penguin gently with his wing. Then, he stretched his wing out, pulling the little one closer until it was tucked snugly against his side, shielded from the worst of the biting wind. The little penguin looked up at Pip with grateful, surprised eyes and let out a soft, contented chirp. It snuggled in, and soon, its violent trembling began to subside, replaced by a gentle, rhythmic shivering. Pip felt the small body relax against his own. A warmth, different from the warmth of the sun, began to spread through Pip's chest. It was a warmth that came from within, a warmth of kindness. He realized that in sharing his own meager body he somehow felt warmer himself. Seeing Pip's act of kindness, another penguin nearby noticed the two of them. This penguin, a bit older and bigger, saw the comfort Pip was providing. Inspired, it moved closer on the other side of the small penguin, adding its own warmth to the little huddle. Now, the small penguin was sandwiched between two larger, warmer bodies, almost completely sheltered from the storm. Soon, another penguin joined, and then another, like a ripple spreading across a still pond. Pip's simple act of compassion had started a chain reaction. One by one, penguins began to break from their self-contained huddles and join the growing circle. They moved to shelter the smaller, the older, and the weaker members of the colony. They shuffled together, wing to wing, chest to back, creating a large, unified mass of warmth and shared strength. The single, loud howl of the wind was now muffled by the soft chirps and murmurs of the united colony. What had started as a crowd of individuals, each fighting their own lonely battle against the cold, had transformed into a true community, a fortress of feathers and shared heat. Pip was now in the very heart of this massive huddle. He was surrounded on all sides by his fellow penguins. The biting wind couldn't reach him here. The relentless cold was held at bay by the collective warmth of hundreds of bodies. He could still feel the small penguin tucked safely by his side, now sleeping peacefully, its breathing soft and even. Pip looked around at the faces of his friends and neighbors, their eyes no longer wide with fear, but calm and content. They were all in this together, and together, they were strong. He learned a profound lesson that night kindness isn't something you lose when you give it away. It's something that multiplies. It grows stronger and warmer the more you share it. The long, stormy night finally gave way to the soft, gray light of dawn. The wind died down, and the swirling snow settled into a gentle, peaceful fall. As the first rays of the sun broke over the horizon, casting a golden glow across the icy landscape, the storm had passed. The great huddle began to slowly and peacefully disperse. Penguins stretched their wings, greeted the new day with happy calls, and began to go about their morning routines. Pip watched them go, a feeling of deep pride and joy swelling in his chest. The world was still cold, the snow was still deep, but he didn't feel the chill anymore. The warmth from the night before, the warmth of community and caring, still lingered within him. He looked down at the little penguin, who was now awake and looking up at him with adoring eyes before waddling off to find its parents. Pip knew he would never forget that night. He had learned that true warmth doesn't just come from the sun or a cozy nest. The most powerful warmth comes from the heart. It comes from caring for others and knowing that they care for you in return. And that kind of warmth, Pip now understood, could make even the coldest, darkest moments feel bright, warm, and perfectly safe. Thank you for watching. If this story warmed your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales from our amazing world. See you next time.